if it'll be good if you guys can switch on the camera if you can, and let's try to make this session interactive. If you have any question, you can always ask, and if you want to contribute anything, you can add. And I hope I'm audible. Try to be with me and listen carefully. Yes. So let's start. I'll just share my screen, okay? Okay, so I hope my screen is visible. And the first topic will be conflict resolution. And yeah, so what do you think is conflict? You know, if anyone can answer. I know it has a very generalized definition, and let's not talk about specific definitions yet. You can say anything, like if you know what is conflict. And of course, we all know conflicts are inevitable. We have to face them daily, whether it's our personal life or professional life. Uh, has there been any time where you're not, surrounded by any problem or any conflict? I don't think, like, hardly, right? We are almost surrounded by one or the other problem or a conflict in our lives. So if anyone can answer, what is conflict?
Disagreement.
Anything will work.
Disagreement between people or two.
Not audible actually. Wait. Yeah. Speak. Hello.
A disagreement between people or someone.
Correct. Disagreement is the key. So true. What's your name? Rebecca, right?
Miss.
Can you please repeat your name?
Rebecca Almasumi.
Okay, Rebecca. Okay, yeah. So Rebecca is right. Conflict is a disagreement. Okay, this is the keyword that we will be using throughout the presentation. Try to focus. Okay, so what is conflict? Conflict is a disagreement between two or more parties, or within yourself also. It can be inside your head, inside, within yourself, right? So it can be between two or more parties, individuals, groups, departments, countries, organizations, right? So why do people disagree? When they are not compatible, when they are not having same goals, when they are fighting over same resources, many reasons can be there for the disagreement, right? When they are having clashing opinions or personality clashes are there, right? We'll discuss about some common sources of conflicts. So yeah, conflict is a disagreement between two or more parties. So conflict exists whenever an action by one party is perceived as interfering with the goals, needs, or actions of another party. So you will be getting all the PPTs in the end, like when all the like 2 lectures of IO psychology will be there. You will get the PPTs, but if you want to make notes, yeah, that's okay. And I'll also share some additional links with you. I'll let you know. So conflict is inevitable. Okay, we are surrounded by conflicts, but when we listen this term, we tend to generate negative meaning to it. Oh, conflict, it's dysfunctional. But no, if handled constructively, it can lead to creative solutions, right? The conflict arises, and sometimes when we attach positive emotions to it, like, right, wait a second. I'll just, yeah. So, conflict is inevitable and has the potential to be dysfunctional, but if managed constructively, it can be functional and enhance performance. Okay. Has someone written anything in the chat? Oh, Oh, that was true. Okay, I thought there was some notification. Yeah, coming back to conflict. So, organizational conflict is the clash that occurs when goal directed behavior of one group blocks or thwarts the goals of another. See, incompatible goals, incompatible concerns, incompatible opinions, some of the common sources of conflict. Okay, this is very general information. So, nature of conflict. If we are going to study what types of conflicts are there, how they affect our lives, how do we handle them? Some people, like most of the people, have general tendencies, some five general tendencies to resolve conflicts, right? So, we have to understand the nature of conflict. Now, conflict occurs when individuals are not able to choose among the available alternative courses of action. So, I'm having some options in front of me and I'm not able to choose one, or I'm not able to come up with some specific solution, then conflict can occur. Conflict between two individuals implies that they have conflicting what values, perception, goals. This is the very nature of conflict. It's a dynamic process. When we learn about the stages of conflict, then you will understand that it's a very dynamic process. It's a process. There are different stages. You just don't, like, conflict just doesn't occur, okay, just like that. It goes through various stages. Conflict must be perceived. Okay, if conflict is there and if you're not able to perceive it, it's in the latent form, then one can say that conflict doesn't exist. Okay, you'll have to perceive it. How can someone perceive it? When they are getting affected by it, right? If in the office, if in some workplace you're working, and there is some conflict, it was in the latent form but now it is affecting you, that's when it has come into your awareness. So that is necessary. It's the nature of conflict. Okay, it should be perceived. So I have discussed till now what is conflict, its general definition, and organizational conflict and nature of conflict. So if anyone has any question or anything to add, can always unmute themselves and speak. Okay, I hope I'm clear. It's just the starting, things will get interesting. Sources of conflict. Now, some common sources of conflicts at workplace are, so, if you're currently studying, I think most of you guys are studying right now, right? So, if you start working and you're aware of common sources of conflict, so you'll be able to, handle them or avoid unnecessary sources very efficiently, right? So, try to listen carefully. First is scarcity of resources. So when resources are scarce, when two teams are kind of sharing resources to achieve the objectives, common objectives, so then we can say scarce resources may create some chaotic situations and lead to conflicts. Specialization. See, when teams are made and team members are highly specialized, okay, this can often lead to higher disagreements among people, because high specialization, people will be having opinions, and as they get that specialization, they become rigid, kind of rigid in accepting other diverse thoughts, right? It can lead to conflict. Yeah, thank you, Rebecca, for keeping the camera on. If anyone else can also switch on the camera, it will be good. Anyway, I'll just continue. Thank you. Yeah, interdependence. So when you're dependent on anyone, okay, that can obviously, see, it's like you need them, and if they don't fulfill those needs, conflict can occur. So interdependence, the degree of interdependence can, if it's high, can lead to conflicts in organizations. Incompatible goals. See, disagreement has its roots in incompatibility. So when the goals of the work group are not compatible, conflicts arise. Status differences. Now organizations are meant to have superior subordinate relationships, and different status create differences, and it can sometimes lead to conflicts. Jurisdictional ambiguity. Now, what is ambiguity? Does anyone know what ambiguity means? What's the meaning of that word? Guys, please participate. It will be good. You can even write on chat if you're not comfortable with. You don't need to be hesitant, first of all. But okay. like for few, initial period you can write on chat. Does anyone know what is ambiguity? Okay, no problem. Ambiguity means, okay, someone has written, yeah, yeah, in a way. Ambiguous is kind of, like when things are not clear. Okay, so having more than one opinion, yeah, if you're having more than one opinion, more than one options, it kind of makes things unclear, right? So yeah, definitely you're right. And in this term, ambiguous means confusing, it's not clear, ambiguity is there, confusion is there. Okay, so jurisdictional ambiguity, when lines of command, or who should one report to, or what's the hierarchy chain, okay, what has to be followed, is not clear, it can lead to confusion, it can lead to jurisdictional ambiguity and conflicts. Thank you for writing on chat. Yeah. So different in perceptions in our family or in our workplace, we can always see personality differences create differences in perception of people, and it leads to, you know conflicts. So we all have seen some relatives in our family gatherings always have some different opinion, always, right? And their personality clashes with almost everyone, and it can obviously lead to conflicts, yeah, most of the times. So these are some common sources which work in our personal lives as well as work life setting. So we have till now studied, learned what is conflict, nature of conflict, and sources of conflict. Now, I hope I'm clear till now. Yeah. So here comes, the interesting part, and you should focus stages of conflict. As I told, the very nature of conflict is it's dynamic. It is a process, right? So some stages of conflicts are: first stage, when it's in latent form, when it is in its latent form. So antecedent conditions, what you can like go through the flow chart carefully. Stage 1 comprises of potential opposition or incompatibility. Now, antecedent conditions. Antecedent are causal factors which can lead to conflicts. Okay. If conflict is there, but I'm not perceiving it, then it means that, okay, causal factors are there, but conflict is not there. So this stage is latent stage. So what are the antecedent conditions? Communication, it's not clear. Structure is ambiguous. Okay. The organizations are not structuralized, are not having clear norms. Personal variables include differences in perception, personality. These are all very repetitive points. So you just have to make one thing in your mind clear, that this is the latent stage. Okay, this is where, like many of the conflicts just stay like that, unresolved issues, right? You don't even perceive them. But once they come to stage 2, that is cognition and personalization. Cognition may perceived conflict, you are perceiving it, you are aware of it. Felt conflict is when I personalize it, when I add emotions to it. Okay, now emotions can be positive as well as negative. Here this stage is where, true leaders contribute. Okay, so if I'm an efficient leader, I know conflicts are natural, they are inevitable, they will occur. So rather than avoiding them, and rather than, running from them and not accepting them, I should try to connote the positive meaning of it, and try to add positive feelings. So can you please, like, can anyone unmute themselves or write on chat, how can I add positive feelings, and how it can, prove to be functional in the organization? So it was in the latent stage, and now it has come to cognition, and I'm personalizing it. I'm adding my emotions to it. So emotions are, the root cause of conflicts, right? That's where all the chaos occurs, starts. So can anyone help me with that? How can I add positive feelings to it? Like, if you want to lead in future, you should know it.
Rationalizing the problem.
Rebecca, please repeat.
Rationalizing the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. So true, so true, so good. Rationalizing the problem, right? So If you are that leader who knows that conflicts are inevitable, they are natural, so you will kind of perceive it in a different way. You will see to it as okay, win-win situation can be achieved. You will try to rationalize the situation. You will try to come up with a balanced view. Okay, so if there is a conflict between two parties, you can always yeah, banisha, sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, coming to terms or an agreement. Yeah, so good, so good. Negotiation, we negotiate, we come to an agreement which kind of benefits both the parties, right? That's where negotiations come. We'll study about it further, you are right. So that's how I can add positive emotions to it. Okay, positive side, try to come up with some creative solution. Okay, so at this stage we can decide what will be the stage 5 outcome. Okay, so stage 3, now when I have the conflict in my awareness, I have added emotions to it. Intentions, so this is where intentions play uh, like come in. So we will study a model by Thomas in further slides, who has proposed 5 conflict resolution techniques which most of the people have. Like these are most common 5 techniques, uh, of how someone deals with conflicts or problems in their lives. So this is stage 3. Your intentions come into play, and according to the, like, I'll not brief about these techniques because we'll talk about them further in further slides. So stage 4 is where you have, okay, let's say Danisha here, sorry again if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, chooses compromising technique, okay, to resolve the conflict. So that's how behavior will be decided. This is the manifestation stage, stage 4, wherein parties behavior and others reaction, like my behavior, others reaction, others behavior can be seen, overt conflict. So all of this is was going on in my mind or latent stage or cognition. This is where behavior comes in. Okay, it can be seen. Okay, and now outcomes, so it can either lead to increased group performance or decreased group performance. Now we will study all the stages in detail. Okay, so try to listen carefully. Yeah. So first is latent conflict. Now latent, okay, it's not in our awareness. So when two or more parties need one another to achieve the desired objectives, there is potential for conflict. Antecedent factors come in, and there is potential of conflict. Like there is one example mentioned here. Assume that you are already burdened with overwork in your office and you are assigned with a new project, so that can create conflict, right? That can lead to conflicting situations. Antecedental factor hai ye, okay, causal factors. So that's where you know latent stage is and antecedent factors work. Okay, so after that, perceived conflict. Now, conflict can come into our awareness. We are affected by it. We begin to worry about what will happen. Tension begins. Concerned parties feel threatened. Okay, my goals are being threatened and I won't be able to achieve this. In the office, resources are scarce. Okay, so you are in tension and you begin to worry. So that's where perceived conflict comes. Stage 3 is felt conflict. Now emotions come into play, right? So internal tensions and frustrations begins to crystallize. Okay, solid form lene lag jate hain wo. The types of emotions experienced are important because negative emotions produce low trust and negative perceptions of the other party's position. Positive feelings can contribute to a balanced view of the situation and to collaborative endeavors. Like both of you said, uh, rationalizing the situation, coming to an agreement, balanced view, collaborative endeavors, right? So this is felt conflict. Now I hope you all are listening. So stage 4, because being distracted and uh, losing the sync or flow of, like, when you're just thinking about something else, it's natural, right? So I'll keep reminding you to focus on the PPTs. I think it's a very interesting topic if you listen, actively listen. So yeah, manifest conflict. Now actions come into play. So actions can be from as little as verbal no verbal small disagreements or something like that, to physical attacks, or maybe firing someone or something like that, right? So the obvious display of conflict occurs when the opposing parties plan and act accordingly to achieve their own objectives. Okay, and action can range from minor disagreements to threats, ultimatums, physical attacks, right? So all of this happens in organizations. I have interned at one of the places where shop floor workers used to have frequent conflicts, which involved verbal attacks or something like that. A third party mediator or some manager used to interrupt and calm them down. So it was like frequent. They used to think it was normal. So yeah, manifested conflict is a real stage and out there in our offices, many places, at many places. Yeah. So, conflict outcome. Now, outcomes can be of many types. Though I have kind of expressed it in these slides in a dichomatic situation where win win, lose lose, something like that, but you will always come up to a draw, right? When you can negotiate 50-50 kind of thing. So, that is not mentioned here, but yeah, that is like it can be understood through the diagram. So, the interactions of the conflicting parties in the manifest conflict stage results in outcomes. Like how you're behaving will decide your outcome, right? As conflict proceeds through these stages, a functional resolution becomes difficult. Yeah. So, in the initial stages, if you're able to, control or come up with some positive feelings for the conflict or something like that, if you control it in the initial stages, the outcome will be positive, the chances of positive outcome increases. But if they just proceed through the stages, it can be controlled, it will become tough to come up with something positive, some positive outcome. Okay, so yeah, see, there are two parties, we are at a conflicting situation. So it's like win-win, I win, you win, I lose, yeah, you win, you win, I lose, or we both lose. And in the middle, we can always come up with some, draw or like balance situation, right? So this is the outcome table, the common outcomes. Yeah. So till now we have studied conflict, nature of conflicts, and sources of conflicts, the flow chart, and stages of conflict in detail. Okay. So let me check if you're listening nicely. Who can unmute themselves or write in the chat all the 5 stages in the correct order? Let me check. Hmm? Who can do that? And I think my pace is good. You can, like, you're able to understand, right?
Yes, miss.
So tell me the names, or are you writing on the chat?
Latent conflict,
Hmm?
perceived conflict,
Good. Good.
manifest conflict, felt conflict,
Hmm.
manifest conflict, and conflict outcome.
So you started with latent, then
Perceived,
yeah.
uh,
You
and,
mi- See, you missed stage 3, the felt
oh,
one.
oh, yeah,
Yeah, but a good attempt. Good attempt. What's your name?
Lil Umpui. You
Can
can
you please repeat?
Lil Umpui, but they call me Omi.
I don't think I'll be able to pronounce it correctly. So, but nice name, and thank you so much for participating. And yeah, you just
Thank you.
forgot stage 3, and now you'll remember it. Yeah, now you won't forget. I don't think stage 3 kabhi bhuloge, right? Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you. Yeah, so let's go. Let's move forward with. If we would have had more times now, I would have asked you your nicknames or something like that, or shorter ones, I would have learned all of them, huh? Okay, so types of conflict. Sorry, yeah, so let's start with types of conflict. Now this is very important, and this is very practical, because we are always surrounded by conflicts, so why not know them? Okay, let's say if someone is an overthinker here, okay, and he or she tends to overthink a lot, and in some certain patterned uh, behavior or pattern thoughts are there. So if he or she studies the conflicts that are going on in her or his mind, they can always come up with detecting, like after studying this, you can always detect, oh, this is the conflict I'm having in my mind since so many years, maybe. And if you can detect it, maybe you can search for it specifically on Google, or talk with your teachers, or talk with some professional person, uh, nicely, more efficiently, right? So try to focus, these type of conflicts are uh, like valid in personal as well as professional life. So let's move forward with conflicts. Intrapersonal conflict, that is within us, okay, so it is the result of tensions and frustrations within the individual. So now we'll study two types of broad categories of conflicts, intra and inter. Intrapersonal may, there are two subcategories which are role related and goal related. Okay, so we all know, uh, in organizations we have to fulfill some objectives, some goals, right? So goal related conflicts and role related, you have to fulfill some roles in your personal as well as professional life, right? Like I'm a daughter as well as I'm an IO psychologist over here. So these are my two main roles right now. I could come up with that only. Yeah, so role related and goal related in intrapersonal, and then there's another category that is interpersonal. So now let's move forward. Role related intrapersonal conflict, that's within, okay. So intra role conflict. Now here we will read this term again and again. Incumbent. Incumbent is the one who is receiving or performing the role, the doer of the role, a role incumbent, okay. If I'm performing any role, I'm the role incumbent, okay. Yeah, so intra role conflict. When an incumbent receives conflicting messages from different role senders, he experiences intra role conflict. Now, let's say you are working with two projects in an organization, okay? Try to listen carefully. And you have to report to two managers, okay? And one of them is wanting you to submit the project in the daytime, and at the same time one other like a manager or other like whom you're reporting to, the second person is asking you to arrange a meeting at the same time. So it will create conflicts, okay. So when it's just an example, when you're facing contradictory messages or conflicting situations while playing two roles in your organizations, that is intra role, within your two roles, okay. Now inter role, between your two roles. See, if a person has to attend a meeting at the organization, at the same time he is asked to meet his son's teacher at the school. So two conflicting situations, right? Contradictory situation. How can he be present at both? Like both are important. So that's where both roles are important. So the conflict a person experiences because of the multiple roles he has to play in life is termed as inter-role conflict. Okay. So how we use this, being an IO psychologist, like at my last employer, like the organization I was working at, I conducted a job satisfaction survey, and we kind of tried to narrow it down through these conflicts. One of the person was definitely engrossed or suffering with inter role conflicts. So that's where the diagnosis occurred, and then like diagnosis is not the correct term, we found that okay, this is the conflict that is playing a key role in his life. And that's how we tried to work on work life integration, not balance, integration. And then we came up with like a, you know, found a solution and resolved the conflict efficiently. Yeah. So person role conflict, this takes place when a person in a role has to perform activities which do not fall in his value system. Like, let's say a person is very honest and very true to his work, and has a high ethical value, and he has to somehow, you know, in some situation he is forced to take bribe. So that's where person role conflict will occur. Okay. So I hope I'm clear with intrapersonal role related conflicts. Okay. If anyone has any question, they can ask. कोई question है? Okay, I'll move forward. Yeah. So now we'll study goal related conflicts. Okay. Focus. This is, yeah, I love this slide. Okay, goal related conflicts. Approach conflict, approach avoidance conflict. Now these are some of the most common conflicts that we face in our life from day to day. I'll just give you some examples. Approach conflict. Okay, it happens when the incumbent, the doer of the role, is faced with two goals, both of them equally attractive but cannot be enjoyed together. Okay, so let's say, I'll give you an example. Yeah. So let's say you apply for a master's degree, and you get calls from two very good colleges. Okay, so you obviously can't go to both. So now this is where approach conflict will occur. Both the goals, both the options are equally attractive but cannot be enjoyed together, right? So both are approachable, both are good. So this is where approach conflict occurs. Approach avoidance, so this conflict arises when a person has to choose between two goals. Both are important, but one is attractive and the other is unattractive, therefore avoidable. So let's say if you're having an exam, okay, tomorrow, and you have to study for it tonight, and tonight is like Olympics were going on, right? Olympics, like they finished yesterday, but yeah, when they were going on, and you have to watch this very important match or something like that, a sport activity, which is very crucial to watch because you're interested in it. So it's like that. Both the goals are important. Okay, watching the match or studying for the exam, but one is attractive and other is unattractive. Yeah, so that is where approach and avoidance conflict occurs, like when both are important but one is attractive, one is unattractive. Yeah, so avoidance conflict, this is where the most dilemma occurs, I think, because both the situations are equally unattractive. Okay, I'll give you an example. If let's say you got a call for job from two companies. One is asking you to relocate, another is giving you work from home, but with less pay. Okay, so you don't want to relocate, but also you want to get paid, you know, like sufficiently, so in sufficient amount. So this is where both the equally unattractive, options come into play. So what will you do, right? So that is where avoidance conflict occurs. So these type of conflicts are very common goal related conflicts, like intrapersonal conflicts in our workplace setting. I hope I'm clear. Now let's move forward with interpersonal conflicts, and hope you all are listening. Yeah, so interpersonal is where, like, it's outside, it's not within anymore. It's between two people, two departments, two countries. Okay, so interpersonal, like we will focus on the work life setting. Interpersonal conflict occurs when two people's attitudes, behavior, and actions are in opposition. Okay, you let's say, Mm, Yeah, you know the examples. I was just trying to come up with something specific. Yeah, okay. So personality clashes lead to interpersonal conflicts in organizations, definitely, especially when two people are at different positions in the organization, and one is having a power over another, and personality clashes there, it can definitely lead to conflicts, interpersonal conflicts. Okay, so these are also of three types. Intra-group. When a group is formed and disagreements among the group members occur, that is where intra-group conflict is there. Intergroup, between two groups. Okay, so let's say conflict between teams and groups are termed intergroup conflicts. Two teams are made of two departments, and they are fighting over something, or having conflicts over something. Okay, inter-organizational conflict, like the name is itself suggestible. Conflict occurring between two organizations is called inter-organizational conflict. Okay, so intragroup, intergroup, inter-organizational. So till now we have studied what is conflict, the nature of conflict, the stages of conflict, sources of conflict, and types of conflict, intrapersonal and interpersonal. I hope I'm clear with everything, and I hope you are like you all are awake and listening. Yeah, so let's move further. Okay, now comes the solutions, as in how, like almost all of us deal with conflicts in like some generalized ways. Okay, so this is where stage 3 was there in that flow chart, intentions. Okay, so this model was proposed by Thomas in 1992, and wherein he proposed 5 conflict dealing techniques which are interpersonal, like interpersonal, between two parties, two organizations, two departments. Yeah. So his model revolves around two dimensions: concern for self and concern for others. We'll see the diagram, so that's why I was making this X and Y axis. Yeah, so concern for self and concern for others. Okay. So, what does these dimensions mean? So, the desire to satisfy my own concern depends on the extent to which I'm assertive or unassertive in pursuing personal goals. If you're assertive, if you know, okay, I want to achieve my goals, then you're concerned for self. You're more concerned for self. And if you're unassertive, you're like less concerned for self. Now, if you're concerned for others, okay, so you'll try to be more cooperative. And if you're not, then you'll be uncooperative. As simple as that. So this is where the dimensions work. Like this is how the dimensions work: assertiveness, unassertiveness, cooperativeness, uncooperativeness. 5 interpersonal conflict handling styles represent various combinations of assertiveness and cooperation. Like one can have high assertiveness but low cooperation. One can have low assertiveness and low cooperation. Right? Right. We will learn about these in the next slide. And Thomas told that there is no one style that you always practice in your life. It depends on situation to situation, though one has some fundamental values and fundamental traits. Like we all have some fixed personality, so we tend to incline towards one or two specific techniques more compared to others. But definitely we kind of use all of them, but some of them we use more. So for example, the style one uses to solve a conflict with a good friend will probably differ from the one used with a stranger after a minor car accident, of course. Okay, so this is very important. Now just try to listen more carefully. This is the model Thomas proposed. So if you are listening attentively, answer me. In what year Thomas proposed this model?
1992.
Very good, very good. You're attentive, huh? Like really, that's so good. Okay, nice. Yeah. So these are the 5 very Common, yeah, five most common techniques in which conflicts are resolved by people. So see, you can see the dimensions: assertiveness, cooperation, like concern for self, concern for others, right? Competing, collaborating, avoiding, accommodating, compromising. So we'll study about all of these one by one, and all of these techniques have their own pros and cons, but many of the studies have led to, a conclusion that collaborating technique is highly beneficial and practiced by almost all of the successful leaders, or high achievers, high performers. Okay, collaborating one. So collaborating one has, we can see, high cooperation as well as high assertiveness. So, like the guy or the girl, like anyone having this collaborative conflict resolution technique, as dominating, like as a dominating technique in their life, uh, he or she will be concerned for self as well as others. I think definitely he or she will turn out to be an efficient leader then, right? Let's see. First is avoiding style, okay? The avoiding style enables a person to stay away from conflict, ignore disagreements, or remain neutral. Okay, so avoiding style, though it kind of gives us negative, we kind of evaluate such people negatively, especially in the workplace. Oh, ye to hamesha hi avoid hi karta hai, conflicts. So basically, but it has some pros also. Like not all the situations, demand or require your attention or your time or your money. So some things, some conflicts should be left. Either they will, like there are more skillful people in the organization who will look upon them, or you're not that in that powerful situation where you can work on it. Someone of high authority will work on it, or maybe that conflict, can get resolved by its own with time. So that is where avoiding it kind of helps, because you're not wasting your time, you're wasting your money, or wasting organization's time, because right people are working on it. Okay, so avoiding in personal life also, avoiding some conflicts helps a lot, because like let's say with our family, with our siblings. I remember I have a younger brother, and I have told him so many times that I will not talk to you ever again, or something like that. And we always, reconcile and talk the very other day, or the very other hour, in the very other hour, or something like that. So yeah, avoiding those kind of, I was just giving a fun, like a very basic example. But yeah, some conflicts are, really good when avoided, but when someone is always avoiding conflicts, ignoring disagreements, remaining neutral, sab chali hai, no, it can take a toll on, their efficiency, especially at the workplace or in personal life also. I think it will constrain their growth. Yeah, it can. Forcing or dominating style. Now, this was not mentioned in the chart, because this is the competing one. Okay, so it has been named like it has many names: competing, forcing, or dominating. Now, competing has higher assertiveness and low cooperation. So the people who practice it are concerned for themselves only. So definitely, if someone is concerned for oneself only, their own goals, they will try to force the other party or dominate the other party with their own wishes, right? These kind of people believe in win lose approach only. If a conflict occurs, one party has to win and one party has to lose. Okay, they don't believe in compromising, they don't believe in coming up with an agreement or a creative solution. Yeah, individuals who favor this style assume that conflict resolution means that one person must win and the other must lose. Okay, so yeah. But also forcing also has its pros, like when cost cutting is there. Like in COVID times, we have seen many organizations have fired so many employees, or while cost cutting also, they kind of reduce the employee number or workforce. So that's where, or quick decisions, when quick decisions are needed, forcing or dominating style in conflicting situation can be, productive or good. Yeah. Accommodating style. Now accommodating comes in high cooperation but low assertiveness. So these type of people naturally will be, more emotional, more emotionally concerned for others, and they will be like, yeah, so they will kind of be unselfish, they will submit to wishes of others, and they will encourage cooperation by others. Okay, I understand your point, let's come up to a solution wherein, I'll listen to your wishes. So but at some point where some people are there in an organization where, who are emotional or who are going through something, or some conflicting situation requires the leader to be understanding, accommodating style can be used, and it works. Yeah, but not all the times. Okay, if you want to like complete the task at hand, so rather than being very emotional and considering others needs, you should be kind of assertive also, right? Collaborating style, the best style. It refers to strong, cooperative, and assertive behaviors. It is the win-win approach, okay, to interpersonal conflict handling. So, what we studied while learning the stages of conflict, these type of people will definitely attach positive emotions to conflicts at in the felt conflict stage, right? They will see it, they know conflicts are inevitable. Okay, I accept it, I'll work on it, it's a win-win situation, I'll work with the balanced mindset, right? So that is where collaborating style occurs, and it's the best. So after this session completes, and if you really, remember some things, and while you're going through some PPT, like this PPT again, if you go, try to work on your conflict resolution style. Try to find which side or in which style you are more inclined to work to, okay? And try to incorporate collaborating style in some situations, in further days that you see, okay? Work on it, google it, how can I add collaborating style to my life, for resolving conflicts, maybe, if you want to become efficient leaders. And leading is not always, about position. Even if you're in a team, even if you're in a family, your peers, your colleagues at the same level, you can always lead them, you can always guide them with some positive resolution techniques, or some positive thoughts, or something like that, right? Yeah. So fifth one is compromising style. This refers to behaviors at an intermediate level of cooperation and assertiveness. See, compromising was at the very like middle, like the draw situation. Okay, balanced. So compromising, people using this style engage in give and take and can make a series of concession. So accommodating and compromising are different, because in accommodating you just submit to wishes of others, but in compromising, okay, I'm giving something but I also take something, some concession I can make, but I also want something, I won't just give in. Okay, so this is where compromising comes. But these type of people are mostly, evaluated negatively in many situations. But yeah, if you want to become a negotiator or a third party mediator in some conflicting situations, then definitely compromising style can be helpful. So I hope I'm clear. Oh, my throat is hurting. I hope I'm clear with all the five techniques of Thomas, and these are very important. Yeah, and I hope you're enjoying. Are you guys with me? Hmm? Yeah, okay, thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, so let's move forward. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Resolving conflicts by third party mediation. Okay, problem solve भी नहीं हो रही है, दो parties के बीच में, they have come up to a dead end, they can't come up with a solution. That's where third party comes in. Now this third party can be their manager, their peer, maybe their family member. Like if this is going on in personal life, professional life, my family members can't play the role, of course. Or there are some specific people out there who have this occupation. They work as third party mediators only, and they are paid really well. really, really well. Because in very big organizations who have, turnover of what, like millions or billions, some conflicts can, just ruin everything. Imagine a conflict between CEO and COO, right? So where, like in such situations, third party mediator comes and he or she tries to come up with some agreement, so that, uh, division of departments is not occurred, or funds is not occurred, the company is there as a whole, so they are paid a lot of money. This is a very good profession. Yeah, if you work really hard. Yeah. Third party mediation is a process in which the disputants meet with the third party and jointly explore conflict solution. So it's not like third party mediator will come up with a solution on their own. He or she will ask you, your opinions, your contribution. They will jointly explore the conflicting solution and come up with some agreement. Okay. Yeah. Care should be taken to ensure that both the parties have been given enough time to express themselves. There is no biasness, there is equal opportunities. The issues have been summarized and stated in a right manner. The sensitive issues are dealt with in a proper context. Enough feedback is provided regarding the proceedings as they occur, because feedback is really important. Okay, if third party mediator is coming from, and like if he or she is an outsider, they have to know the, like a situation in detail. Okay, and feedback is really important to assure, okay, we are going on a right path, we are moving in a correct process, through correct process. Agenda for the next meeting is settled. So no one has said, or there's no rule that, you have to come up with a solution in just one meeting. Okay, so agenda for the next meeting is, always decided in the very meeting itself. Yeah, it's settled. So these are some common resolving conflicts technique, by like what should be kept in mind, while calling a third party mediator. Yeah, stages of third party mediation, चार stages हैं. Opening. So opening is like, it's like a court scene. Okay, you come up with like your own opinions, your own views. Okay, I'm suffering like this. I hope आवाज नहीं आ रही हो पीछे से ज्यादा. Yeah. Okay. So opening may you give your opening statements, what you're feeling, why is this conflicting situation, why it has occurred, how it is affecting you. Okay. Information sharing may both of them express their views directly, like to both of like both the parties talk to each other also, and exchanging and negotiating, they come up with an agreement. They try to brainstorm solutions with the help of the third party mediator, of course. And closing, in the closing stage, they come up with an agreement, a lawful agreement. It is signed by, both the parties, and they confirm they will stay with the terms. So these are the basic stages of third party mediation. Okay. Yeah, resolving conflicts through negotiations. So negotiators also get paid really well, huh? Resolving conflicts through negotiations. So negotiation is a process by which two or more parties, each with its own goals and perspectives, obviously they are incompatible, that's why negotiations need is there, right? Coordinate areas of interest through concession and compromise, through concession. Okay, and they compromise to reach an agreement and take joint decisions about areas of common concern in a situation in which neither side has nor wants to use complete power. So obviously in negotiation you come up, with uh, a midway. You try to achieve that, because no one can have complete power. Come on, no one can have accommodating kind of, technique, or resolving conflict situation in negotiations. Okay, so this is the definition given by Pruitt and Carnival. Negotiation occurs when two or more conflicting parties attempt to resolve their divergent goals by redefining the terms of their interdependence. Okay, this is a very basic definition. We all know that. So, we all got it. Yeah. So, negotiation. Now, critical elements of negotiation. This is the second last slide, and we'll get done by this topic. And try to be with me. Then we'll take 2 minutes break. You can all drink water or like whatever you want to do in that 2 minute break, and then we can start with team management. And hiring matrix is really a very small topic. Yeah. So critical elements of negotiation. Okay, approach and outcome. See, what is what outcome do you want to have? Win-win, win-lose, lose-lose, or what? Okay, so the outcome you want to have and the potential the situation has for the outcome, for that outcome the approach can be decided. Like if I want to go for a win-win outcome, I'll make my approach like that. Okay. Issues. So issues are really important. Critical elements of negotiations. The negotiator should know the issues like in deep, the root cause, the effects, everything. The negotiator. Who is the negotiator? What is his personality like? What is his experience in negotiating situations? Everything is important. These are critical elements. Okay. Relationship. The negotiator, what relationship he or she has with the parties. Does he knows someone very closely, so he might be biased for them, right? So this is also very important. The process which he or she follows, and the negotiation context, in which context negotiation is occurring. Okay, these are critical elements of negotiation. I'll just share a PDF of Kavita Singh book of IO psychology if you guys want to read it further. Like these all are like discussed in detail. Okay, in that.
Ma'am,
Is someone speaking?
ma'am,
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Who hires the negotiator? Like
Okay.
the other party or
Who
who
hires the
hires?
negotiator?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so negotiators again can be from the company itself. Okay, Rebecca, and at times it can be like third party mediator and outsider. So it depends like on what level the conflict is occurring. Like if it is in the top management system between CEO and COO, a third party should be called a trustee or someone, or who is uh, who can make an influence on both of them. Okay, because CEO and CO are a very powerful position, right? So it can be an outsider, and in that case it will be hired by someone, um, like I said, a trustee maybe, who can have an impact on a stakeholder, powerful stakeholder. Deepika, I think you can mute yourself,
Yes, miss.
guys, because some voices are coming. Yeah, okay.
Yes, miss.
Okay. So it can be hired by a person who can have influence on both of them, or like let's say a trustee can hire a good negotiator with the help of recruitment team because whole organization is suffering. But when it's on the intermediate level, the conflict is on the intermediate level, not on top management level. So it can be done by anyone, their manager, or if you're hiring a professional negotiator, then it can be hired by the recruitment team or their manager, or they always have some contacts like that, the big organizations, with good consultancies or good negotiating, like who can provide you good negotiators. I hope I was able to answer your question.
Yes, miss. Thank you, miss.
Okay, and you can always go through that book Kavita Singh, which I will send on the group. Okay. Yeah. So strategies for negotiation. This is the last slide of this topic, and it has like distributive bargaining and integrative bargaining. So this is the most these both are most common strategies that negotiators use. Okay. So distributive bargaining may, zero sum game is the key word. Zero sum game. Okay, they believe that gain made by one person is the loss incurred by the other person. Win lose approach is followed. They think if I will win, the other will lose. Zero sum game. Okay, distributive bargaining. You kind of bargain with the other party in a way that I want to win. Okay, and if you win, I will lose. With that approach, with that mindset, okay, each person involved in the negotiation defines the ultimate point where the settlement will be made. Okay, integrative bargaining. Now, here, characteristic feature of integrative bargaining is that it relies on win-win situation. It's like okay, I'll move some steps, you move some steps forward. Okay, we'll meet in the midway. Okay, collaborative model of conflict resolution is worked on. Both the parties involved in the negotiation process jointly look at the problem. No ultimatums are there, no ultimate points are there. They kind of understand each other's needs, each other's points, try to search for alternatives. Okay, and try to evaluate them and reach a mutually acceptable decision. So these are two strategies, the most common strategies that is kept in mind or performed or planned while negotiation are being practiced. So in conflict resolution, we talked about conflicts, the nature of conflict, stages of conflict, sources of conflict, types of conflict, and conflict resolution techniques, third party mediation, and negotiation. Okay. So, yeah, I'm done with this topic. And now let's take a break for 2 to 3 minutes. And yeah, we'll start with team management and then hiring matrix. I hope you all are with me, and I hope you all are enjoying. Yeah. Okay. I'll be back in 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. Hello, everyone. Now let's start with team management, and then we'll continue with hiring matrix. Okay. Yeah. If anyone has any question or would like to add anything, and I hope you all are listening. Yeah. So let's move further. I'll just share my screen. Okay. So my screen is visible, right? Okay.
Yes,
So let's
Miss.
start. Okay. Yeah, team management. So, आवाज आ रही है. Yeah, okay. Team management. So, team. We'll first start with group and then we'll understand team. We'll also go through some models, a model of team development, group development, okay? And mostly groups and teams are the words that are used interchangeably, but they kind of differ, in a some way, especially in workplace setting, okay? Yeah. So what is a group? What is a group? Yeah, let me ask all of you first. What is a group? सबको पता है कुछ कॉमन वर्ड्स तो कि हाँ ग्रुप ये होता है एंड वी ऑल हैव बीन अ पार्ट ऑफ ग्रुप प्रोफेशनली और पर्सनली राइट व्हाट इज अ ग्रुप
A group of people.
People who are together.
yeah yeah see so good we all have a common idea of what a group is right yeah oh this is very important yeah they strive for common goal wait a second my battery 2 minutes out how do I go back
Oh, a collection of two or more people working together
yes yes
to
yes
form.
yes yes oh 2 seconds huh? I'll just like 2 minutes I'll just put my laptop on charge sorry for the yeah so sorry for this disturbance. So we were talking about group. Yeah, all of you are correct. Yes, group has some common goals. Two or more people are there together. Okay. Yeah. So let's start with basic general definition of group. Yeah. Okay, so a group can be defined as a collection of two or more people uh, who meet regularly and influence one another over a period of time. Okay, so in organizational setting, they meet regularly through like virtually or in person, influence one another over a period of time, perceive themselves as a distinct entity, distinguishable from others, share common values and strive for common objectives, right? Common goals, they have common values, they perceive themselves as distinct entity. Okay, we are a part of this group, we are different from others, we are separated from others, we are this group. Okay, and we influence each other, we have common goals, common values, yeah, repetitive points, two or more people who meet regularly. So work groups become the major channel for achieving organizational goals. Um, in today's organizations in this modern period, temporary teams are made, project based teams are made. I think you all have heard about uh, project based teams which are made for some time, and after that objective is achieved, they are adjourned. Okay, so work groups or work teams have become the major channel for achieving organizational goals. Okay, and also they also satisfy our need for belongingness. As humans, we have a need for belongingness, right? We want to identify with some people, we want to belong to some group and organization. So our personal need for identification, self-esteem and friendship is also fulfilled by groups. Very basic definition and very basic function of groups. Yeah, in organization, both the main key functions. Yeah. So now focus. This is very important if you're planning on becoming a leader, or if, like, as in in your future, work on some team, try to develop a very effective team for some project. You should know this model. Okay, so this is it has 5 stages, but if temporary project based teams are there, then the fifth stage plays in. Okay, then the fifth stage is important, because we all have heard in movies or in some serial, court is adjourned, right? So just like that, when the project, just like I said, when the project teams achieve their objectives, they are adjourned. So fifth stage is when temporary teams are formed. Okay, and you will see Tuckman's model. Tuckman gave this Tuckman's model of group development, and in the next slide you will see Tuckman's model of team development. So both are same. He has used the words interchangeably. Okay, so now comes the first stage that you have to focus on, that is forming. Okay, R- uh, try to think, a team is formed. Okay, new members are there, they don't know each other. How will the initial days look like? They will be hesitant, they will be anxious, they won't be comfortable, they'll try to know each other, they will seek guidance from the leader. Okay, so why is this team made, what are our objectives, right? So forming stage. During this stage, the focus is on the task at hand and the utilization of resources to complete it. Okay, you understand what are the resources available, what are the tasks given. Okay, all the information sharing, acquaintance, gaining. This is done at the forming stage. The next slide will make this model very clear. Okay, try to listen carefully. Storming. So once we are well acquainted to each other, that's where differences start to occur. I may realize someone has very high skills to achieve the task at hand. I may feel threatened. Okay, yeah, it can happen vice versa, or it can happen, my opinions with someone is differing totally. How can we work together then? Okay, so this is where, as members receive clarity about techniques of doing the job, they get to know each other, understand each other. There may be disagreements. Okay, storm, yeah. So it's like, after that, norming comes in. Okay, when uh, conflicts occur, solutions. Okay, solutions will work on, like, who will work these solutions? The leader who has made the team, or some responsible team members. So norming. Okay, as the differences began to resolve, members develop mutual understanding and clarity with respect to the task at hand. Okay, so rules are made, ground rules are formed. They know, okay, this is the approach I should take to achieve the task. This is how I should behave, this is how I ought to behave in the group. Okay, norms are made. Fourth is performing. As members develop norms for work and interpersonal relationships, solutions to the problem begin to emerge. So it's like, a team is made in the organization, they get to know each other, differences of opinion, rules are made, performance, actual performance occur. Okay, why? At the first place, why team was made? To achieve certain objectives, right? To fulfill some goals. So this is the stage, group development. This is how group develops. This is how work groups channelize their effectiveness together and work on the goals. Adjourning. This stage is more apparent in temporary groups, where the members have to abandon their membership in the group once the tasks have been completed. Now, the fun part. Okay, this model is explained through a two dimensions. Okay, performance impact and team effectiveness. You see, with time, when the group was formed, the effectiveness and the performance was low, but it hit the lowest in the second stage, that was storming. Then it increased with time. So let's start talking about each and every stage again, because this is a detailed diagram, and it is very important to understand how one can resolve the conflicts, how one can not just move very fast to the performing stage, because this is not a one way street. You can it's not only in one direction, okay, the movement. You can always regress towards storming or forming again. So there will be no not forming, storming basically. You can there will be no tasks completion effectively, okay. So yeah, focus in forming stage. I hope all of you are listening, okay. Yeah. So at this stage, try to see the directions of the arrows. See how new people meet. They are like feeling anxious, hesitant. They are trying to know each other. One of them is looking away or something like that, right? See the direction of the arrows. Feeling out other team members, getting acquainted, learning roles and responsibilities, understanding team goals, looking to team leader for direction. Now second stage. See the direction of the arrow. All are against each other, right? Kind of in a fighting spirit or a disagreement, right? Feeling competitive and tense, disagreeing with other team members, struggling to establish place in the group. Everyone wants to, get rewards, get known. Okay, I'm working, get, rewarded for their a positive feedback for their efforts, right? Struggling to establish a place in the group, forming cliques. You know what clique is? Does anyone here know clique क्या होता है? Hmm?
Kind of like a bond.
uh, can you please repeat?
Kind of like a bond.
Yeah, yeah.
Bonding with.
Bond.
A
Yeah,
group where only a few can participate as selected few. Or
correct, true. So cliques are formed, okay. Let's say it's a team of 20 members, and some of them definitely will have same personality or same opinions, so they just form, two to three people or some few people form a group wherein they are not letting others enter. So these kind of cliques are bad, because if it's a team, you will be working like together, right? You will be working in a collaborative way. But if already subgroups are formed, you're not letting anyone be part of it, it will only affect your performance, right? So cliques are formed in this stage. This is where team leader should facilitate conversations, open communications, team building activities should be performed at storming stage. We will learn about team building activities. Okay, so if storming is passed through nicely, then effectiveness and performance just booms up. See the norming. A leader is there, norms are created, right? Everyone is following the rules, beginning to work more effectively, respecting each other's opinions, differences, agreeing on team roles, trusting and helping each other, making progress on the project, not relying on team leader as much. Okay, because they know. Okay, this is how I should behave. These are the ground rules. Okay, yeah. Now performing. See star shape. Everyone is affecting everyone's performance, and they are working together like a team. So, performing at a high level, making decisions and solving problems quickly and effectively, working independently. Adjourning, yeah, this is where temporary groups play in. See, adjourning, dispersed, moving in different directions, celebrating team successes, potentially feeling sad or insecure. Yeah, definitely. It's because some projects take so like years. You get bonded, you get attached to your team members, right? So this is where uh, team development model of Tuckman, like this is what it's like. And also you can try to, like, efficient leaders try to work with the storming stage very carefully. They don't rush up, they work on the issues, because otherwise these issues won't get solved. They'll just be there and resurface at some point of time. Okay, yeah, I hope you all are enjoying, yeah, and listening carefully. Yeah, so evolution of groups into teams. How groups evolve into teams. Some people use these words interchangeably, but in workplace setting, if अगर group को team बनना है, it needs many things like supportive conditions. Okay, supportive conditions include people understand the very objective of the team formation, and managers also support you. They have created a conducive environment to help you help the group evolve into a team. Team members understand and respect each other's opinions. They know, okay, for effectively achieving the goal, we have to work together through collaborative solutions or whatever it is. Common values are there, skilled team members are there, matching team roles and preferences. What is right for someone, that work is assigned to that person. Okay, so this is where groups evolve into teams. All of these conditions, when present, they kind of add in and makes the chances of group evolution, like groups evolving into teams, more preferable. Okay, types of teams. So this is a very generalized division, which has been for like this was made a lot of time back, I think in 1990s, but still some common teams are like that only. These are the major categories of teams. Main, yeah. Top management teams. See, CEO usually make these kind of teams. He or she selects uh, main members from each functional department to be part of this team, and these teams comprise of members of the top management and help to coordinate the activities of the work team. So top management teams take care of the whole organization, you know uh, because they are very experienced, they are at a very powerful position, and they know how to manage things at the workplace. Yeah, so they are drawn from number of areas. Okay, cross functional teams. Now cross functional top management teams are also cross functional teams, but they are at a very high authority and they know like almost everything of the organization. Cross functional teams comprise of individuals from the same hierarchical level. Okay, but different functional areas. Yeah, hierarchical level is same but functional areas are different. Oh yeah. Okay, and they perform a very specific task. Temporary groups are basically most of the times cross functional only. Quality circle. Now these are made to improve a quality of the product or work on effectiveness of some or the other product or process of the organization. Okay, so quality circle is a small group of employees, 4 to 15, who do similar work and report to the same supervisor. Okay, self-managed teams. Now what happens, sometimes the head has to go to another department or he or she retires, so such teams self-manage themselves. So former supervisors ki sari responsibility they take on themselves and work as an autonomous group. Okay, it consists of 10 to 15 employees. Virtual teams. COVID ke time pe virtual teams are the most common ones. In a virtual team, information among the members is shared through internet, email, teleconferencing, right? So these are some common groupings of the teams: top management, cross-functional, quality circle, self-managed teams, virtual teams. This is not that important. Yeah. Now, designing effective team. So focus. If you really want to design an effective team in your life further, like when you are given an assignment or something like that, so you have to ask three questions to yourself. Who are the best individuals for the team? How large should my team be? How diverse should my team be? And for all of these questions, if you really want unambiguous answers, very clear, straightforward, you should be crystal clear about the objectives. What all you need, what is your long-term goal, like what are your long-term goals, short-term goals, what are you seeking, what is your organization seeking. अगर ऑब्जेक्टिव क्लियर है माइंड में तो डेफिनेटली फिर प्लानिंग स्टेज एंड एवरीथिंग comes up naturally, and you try to work on very creative solutions and everything. So first question, who should be on my team? So you will decide this on the basis of KSA. If anyone is like, does anyone here know the meaning of acronym KSA, which is used very popularly in HR or industrial psychology or human resource basically field? KSA. It's a very common acronym and very useful. Okay, I'll tell. KSA is, yeah, KSA is knowledge, skills, and abilities. Okay, so when we learn about hiring matrix in the next topic, we'll get to know that hiring matrix is like they also work on KSA. Okay, so if I have applied for many jobs, and obviously people get rejections, right, on the basis of experience and everything. So most of my rejections were based on that only, KSA, knowledge, skills, and abilities. That's how recruiters see you, evaluate you, right? So you have to evaluate your team members like that only. If I'm crystal clear about the objective I want to achieve, so I'll try to revolve around that objective only. So what knowledge my team members should have, what skills my team members should have, what abilities, and obviously this will differ. I will need people from different background as well, right? How large my team should be. See, team members number and performance. Okay, performance of the team are directly linked, directly. And most of the managers and leaders prefer short teams because they'll be able to work on them through that storming stage and all of that effectively. But some tasks, require large number of people, right? So then we'll have to work with it. But the optimal number of people on the team size should be decided by you according to your objective and everything. How diverse should my team be? Should team members be of similar background, such as all engineers, or of different backgrounds? Okay, these three questions, when answered very sincerely, with all the research, with all the efforts, definitely you will design a very effective team. Okay, I hope you all are listening and yeah, with me, are with me. Yeah. So organizing effective teams. Okay, so after designing, you need to establish some norms and contracts. Norms are, we all know, norms are the ground rules, the very like basic rules or regulations which everyone will follow. Okay, the processes are meant to be performed like this. So norms are shared expectations about how things operate within a group or team. Just as new employees learn to understand and share the assumptions, norms, and values that are part of an, oh, this is not so important. Yeah, contract. Scientific research as well as experience working with thousands of teams show that teams that are able to agree on established ground rules, goals, roles, and develop a team contract around these standards. See, if you are agreeing on, if we, let's say we all are a team, okay, and let's say I'm the team leader. I have designed you effectively by asking all those three questions, and we have surpassed we are kind of trying to surpass that storming stage, and I'm on my way, I'm on it, creating norms and contracts. So if we agree, if our shared expectations match, and if we agree on some basic ground rules, we understand, okay, we are part of this big journey, big picture is there, these are the goals that we have to achieve. So we'll definitely come up with an effective contract. और कोई भी उसे follow ऐसा होगा ही नहीं follow नहीं करे. We all will follow it because we know, we are aware of the goals, we all agree with the ground rules. Okay, we respect them, we respect each other. So yeah, if you want to really organize and maintain the effective teams, establishing team norms and contracts with the joint efforts is necessary. Okay, Team management. Now, how will you manage? You have designed, you have organized, how will you manage? So managing team, it's like a including all of these activities in day-to-day tasks. It's like delegate activities to the right people, as we learned in the previous to previous slide, that delegating or assigning the right task to right people is really necessary, helping them in prioritizing and discuss any problems that might arise. So it's like, we are a team. Okay, we have to manage this effectively formed team. So you should delegate the right task to right people. You should know what is the need of my team members, prioritize it, align it along with the objectives. So this is very common knowledge and generalized thing. Okay, I really want to focus on team building because time is running, and we have to study, we have to learn about hiring matrix, and that is really important. Okay, if you want to look for, if you're looking for jobs and everything, that is a very interesting topic, because you will get to know. Okay, I'll speak about it in that topic only. Yeah, this is blabber a lot. Yeah, team management techniques, hire the right people. Okay, again, KSA देखो, knowledge, skills, abilities देखो, hire the right people, involve the right people in your team, set achievable goals. So how many of you know about the SMART goals? SMART. It's a very common thing, like बहुत ही known है. SMART, SMART. SMART goals is like this acronym which is used a lot. How many of you are aware of that? No one. So ये ध्यान से सुनो एकदम. Listen carefully. You can include it in your own life. See, all of us have failed, in achieving our to-do lists, or maybe we have all made a schedule or timetable and have failed in, uh, to be at it, to be able to, fulfill it efficiently, right? So set SMART goals. S is for, let me write it in the chat. Where is chat? Yeah, SMART. Okay, so S stands for, नहीं पहले मैं, अरे यार. Oh, I'm trying. Okay, I want to write like this, but if I just enter it, yeah, I'll just write it in the chat box, or send you a very good link about SMART goals. Yeah, so S is for specific, M is for measurable, A is for achievable, R is for relevant, and T is for time bounded. Okay, S, you should be specific about your goal. Okay, SMART goals. S, specific. M is measurable, which can be measured. A is achievable. ऐसे नहीं कुछ भी goal बना दिया, right? R is relevant. Okay, T is time bounded, which can be achieved in certain time. Okay, so basically you should try to make SMART goals. Okay, I'll definitely share you one very good link about these goals, which you can incorporate in your life also. Establish a team mission. Try to make your people understand the team goal. What are you striving for? Okay, what is the common goal? Delegate tasks effectively. Delegate correct tasks to the correct people. Don't burden them. If they really enjoy and understand their goals, they will naturally work. If they are at the right place doing the right things, yeah, they will be motivated. Maintain open communication. Oh, communication is the key to anything and everything in life, whether it's personal or professional. Okay, so as a team leader, maintain open communication. Try to understand people, your team members. Manage time wisely. So here we can work on Eisenhower matrix. So it's like, a quadrant: important, unimportant, urgent, and not urgent. And we can I'll also send a link for this as well. This is a very, as we are running out of time, this is a very good technique to maintain time, like for time management, effective time management. you should know that you should try to spend least amount of time in the quadrant which has not important and not urgent tasks. So you'll get to know it. It's a very, very good concept. Okay, try to manage time wisely, discuss teamwork in performance reviews, feedback though up, sincere praises though. If someone is performing very nicely, sincere praise dijiye, because they will appreciate it, they will improve their performance. Resolve team issue asap as soon as possible. This can be achieved by open communication. Hold team building events. This is the key. Team building events. After that forming stage, everyone is trying to know each other. You can hold team building events at that point of time. You can try to work on some activities like maybe two truths and one lie. Have you heard about that activity? Every team member write three statements about themselves, and then they make someone guess it. Okay, if I say I like blue color, um, I hate watching TV, and I'm a very good driver. I can drive very nicely. So which of these three statements are, uh, two truths and one lie, or two lies and one truth? I'm getting confused. Yeah. So which of these statements are true? Only one is true and two are false. Okay. So this is how they will get to know each other. You can incorporate small activities. Okay. Yeah. So that is where team building occurs. Cheer on your team. You're the greatest. You can be the greatest cheerleader for your team. Keep positive vibes in the office. These are generalized points again. So we talked about how to design effective teams, how to organize them, how to like manage them. And please, like, promise me that all of you, if you happen like after this PPT only, tonight before sleeping, you can search for some good team building activities, which you can incorporate in your family also. After all, family is also like a team, right? So maybe you can build more trust, try to build more open communication channels. Yeah. Learn about team building activities. Okay, team building refers to wide range of activities जो कि हम present करते हैं businesses, schools, sports teams, religious or non-profit organizations, or to family or anything. Team building is pursued via a variety of practices and can range from simple bonding exercises to complex situations and multi-day team building retreats. So some, organizations take their employees for a vacation or something, where, complex, like, simulations of team building occurs. Okay, yeah. So it can be simple bonding activities to complex simulations. I hope you all are with me. So some of the team building exercises can be like communication exercise. Goal यहाँ रहेगा कि create करें an activity which highlights the importance of good communication. You can always Google such activities. Okay, plenty of options available. Problem solving, decision making exercise. Goal यहाँ रहेगा to give team a problem in which the solution is not easily apparent and requires the team to come up with creative solutions together. That is how team building will occur. Okay, communication, problem solving, decision making, planning, adaptability, trust exercise. In planning, show the importance of planning before implementing a solution. So, some members are very rushed up upon finding solution and just jumping to the conclusions. Such activities will make them realize that planning is a key factor for how outcome will be, right? Trust exercise. Create trust between team members. Okay. So though you're able to manage the design the team effectively, organize them effectively, manage them effectively, incorporate great team bonding team building exercises, some challenges will be there, some trust issues will be there. Too many cooks. Have you heard this saying, too many cooks in the kitchen? So if too many cooks are there, chaotic situations will be there. Everyone will have, specified, ekdam specialized opinion about everything. No one will agree on anything. So yeah, too many cooks, low engagement. They are not motivated to do what they are doing. They don't love it. So how will they, engage in it? Is someone trying to say anything? Okay. Please don't sleep, anyone. Be with me. Yeah, only last topic, and I'll just take 10 to 15 minutes more, max. 20 minutes max. Yeah. Lack of transparency, satisfactory appraisal. Just read it. These challenges or more challenges like this will be in team. Okay, no matter how. And a collaborative leader is the one who accepts these things. Conflict will be there. Challenges will be there. You will work on it. You will get a creative solution, a 50-50, a win-win approach with balanced view, right? So yeah, we are done with team management. Thank you. Now I'll quickly start uh, hiring matrix. Please try to listen carefully. I hope hiring matrix समझने के बाद it can really help you in finding accurate jobs, or maybe you will know on what basis you are being evaluated on, how recruiters are evaluating you, why are you being rejected if you're being rejected in some places. Okay, yeah. No, my screen is not visible. Wait, huh? Not able to find. Wait a second, I'm kind of having problem. Yeah, कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है. 2 सेकंड, मतलब 2 minutes. Share screen. Share. Yeah. I hope my screen is visible. It's visible, right? Yeah. Thanks, Rebecca, for all of the it's up and down. Yeah. So let's start with hiring matrix. It's a quick topic. I'll just go through first few slides quickly because those are not that important. The hiring matrix tool is very important to understand. Yeah. So what is hiring? We all know hiring refers to finding, selecting, and hiring like new employees to a company. Okay, you have to find and select. Okay, selection is the key process in hiring. Yeah. So steps, there are few basic steps that are followed for hiring throughout the world. First is identifying hiring needs. In organization, a vacancy is there, a job role has to be occupied. Yeah, so it has to be filled. So identifying hiring needs. Okay, what are the needs as an employer? So they just sit there and try to plan everything and come up with everything. It is written nicely. You can just go through it. Planning. Okay, then you plan. Once you have identified the needs, then you plan as an employer. So if you don't want to be in recruitment or something like this in your future, just try to think yourself as an employee who is about to get hired, what all employers think. Okay, try to listen it in that perspective. Okay, so planning, creating a sufficient plan for your hiring will not only make you more efficient but will also help you have a good understanding of the current as well as the future needs of the company. Hiring process, creating a JD, job description. After that job description is created, okay, what all responsibilities will the new employee will fulfill, what requirements do employer have from that employee, all of that is covered under JD, job description. Okay. Fourth is recruiter and hiring manager intake meeting. See, hiring manager is the one who is from a specific department. Okay. let's say he's from finance department, he knows all the technical jargons, all the technicalities, what he wants in the employee, and recruiter is the one who will find the relevant CVs, select all the CVs. So they both sit and come up with a plan, or a meeting takes place prior to posting a job opening. Okay, so job opening is posted on various sites, or in newspapers, or various platforms. You can read all of this अच्छे से बाद में. Okay, applicant screening. Now when after posting the job opening, applications starts coming in, and then the screening occurs, evaluate होते हैं CVs, application forms evaluate होते हैं, all the other documents that are attached with it, like the cover letter and everything. One should always, like what I have learned in my experience is uh, we are very hesitant to answer, most of the population is hesitant to answer most common questions, like tell me about yourself, or work up with a very good resume, or write actual skills and everything. So why not practice it beforehand? If I know, if I'm weak at something, why not maybe Google it, maybe take help from Google, and put your knowledge into it, take help from your friends. Why not come up with such answers beforehand? It will help you a lot. Okay, I myself have procrastinated a lot, but let's say if you want to make a cover letter, which will you know what cover letter is? Like, it's like a resume. A resume has all of your skills, but if I'm applying for a specific job, okay, and according to that JD, my resume has that skill, so I'll just highlight that skill in the cover letter. What all uh, you know uh, I like cover, like what all I cover from that JD, what have I studied, what have I experienced, in that category. It can be specific also. So why not prepare it beforehand? Okay, coming back to the topic, job interviews. Then the interview happens after the screening is occurred. It can be live, it can be telephonic, or anything, right? असेसमेंट अकर्स, साइकोमेट्रिक असेसमेंट होते हैं, टेक्निकल राउंड्स होते हैं टेक्निकल नॉलेज चेक करने के लिए, बैकग्राउंड चेक एंड रेफरेंस चेक. नाउ दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. भले ही if your employers are rude to you or something like that, just control yourself. Don't try your best not to make your reputation bad in the market. Okay, background checks and reference checks are so important. I have worked as a recruiter. I know that if reference check or background check was negative, no matter what knowledge, what skills, what abilities, for straight away a zero, straight away a zero. You won't, your profile won't be even considered for interview or anything like that. Okay, yeah. Sorry, if reference check is done before that, if reference check is done after that, no amount of score that you have scored on the hiring matrix tool will know about those scores. Background check and reference check. Now background check is the one wherein the your future employer calls or contacts with your previous employer and try to know how he or she, how you were working in that organization, right? And reference check is through some reference, maybe you already know someone who is working in that organization, or who knows the employer who has referenced you. Okay, you're going through that reference. So yeah, both the checks are done. Pre-employment testing is also done. Generally it takes too much time and effort for a recruiter, so it is avoided. You're not given tasks on the basis of that. This is not common in our country specifically. Then the final stage decision is made. Offer letter आपको मिलता है इसके बाद. Yeah, you are emailed or given a formal offer letter wherein all the details are there. Hiring is done. So onboarding involves making the employee, try to listen carefully, making the employee acquaint with the culture that is being practiced in the organization, what all services it provides, induction program and everything. So this was the common steps of mostly hiring, which is practiced throughout the world. Okay, what is hiring matrix. Now this is very important. Yeah, try to listen carefully, because this will tell you and will help you in being a good recruiter. And if you don't want to become that, try to search for good jobs, okay, relevant jobs, and understand why employer didn't choose you or chose you. Yeah, a hiring matrix is a tool used to compare an applicant's qualification to a job vacancy. See, आपने अगर किसी में अप्लाई किया है आज तक जॉब के लिए, you must have seen preferred requirements, preferred and required, okay, skills or maybe things or experience. So some skills are preferred. Oh, you know, I would like if you have that, okay, yeah, it will work for me. But required, this is the minimum requirement, okay. If I need a 3 years experience, this is my minimum requirement, okay. So that is what a hiring matrix is. It's a tool wherein your skills and my JD, my job vacancy needs are assessed, compared, okay. How? Now I will tell you. The matrix also documents the hiring process and helps justify a hiring decision. A hiring matrix documents each and everything. That's why, recruiters can't be biased. Maybe he or she knows someone already in the applicants. He or she can't be biased because everything is getting documented. Okay. This required selection tool helps to ensure that hiring selection decisions are made only on lawful job related and non-discriminatory criteria. Hiring matrix tool help you make a hiring decision more efficiently. The hiring matrix also documents the hiring process and helps justify, repetitive points. Yeah, the functions of hiring matrix, the benefits of hiring matrix. Now, try to listen very carefully. Be with me last few minutes. This is very important. Yeah. So hiring matrix is a tool which has, some common headings. Okay. It is used throughout the world. It has some common format. But as many tools are available online, even I have mentioned a link in this PPT where you can go and check yourself. But some headings are common. So I have, for our convenience, shared a sample tool. Okay. So you will get the idea how recruiters work. Okay. So it's not necessary to use this matrix option. There are many matrix options available. The sample hiring matrix is provided for our convenience. Okay. Other matrix tools formats will, accomplish the same end results. Now let's start. Screening process. Yeah, this is also important. Yeah. Usually screening is done after job opening is done, posted, applications come up. Screening is done with the yes no thing of KSA, knowledge, skills and abilities. Okay, this knowledge is there, these skills are there, this ability is there. Experience, most of the freshers are rejected on what terms? Experience, right? At this point, the hiring manager can often determine who to interview. And third screening round is not often practiced in our country. And then we can narrow down the interview pool to 5 to 10 applicants. This is not that important. Further slides are more important. So just be with me for 5 to 10 minutes and I'll just end this topic. Yeah. So the thing is that, yeah, जो मैंने ये hiring matrix tool लिया है, the hiring matrix which I have used here has a scale from 1 to 5. Okay, it can also have 1 to 10 or anything. And yeah, I'll just explain. See, so this is how the tool looks like. Focus. So job title. Let's say we are looking for a psychologist, a counseling psychologist. Job number will be provided by the employer. Down here you can see applicant's name. Okay, Kelly, Janice, Samantha, Mary, Jane. Okay, so names are there who all have applied for the jobs. See, application score, interview score, reference score, total score. Okay, now here we can see minimum requirements box. Firstly, in the requirements bars, Firstly, we write minimum requirement. See, Mary and Jane straight away are given 0 in the total score and everywhere because they don't meet the minimum requirement itself. Okay, so employers identify the hiring need. They know what they are looking for. They just write it in these is tools, and when applicants come in, they evaluate you like this. Okay, so basically hiring matrix will calculate the weighted score from each criteria and calculate the total will appear below the application score box. See, you can see here. Remember to document your evaluation thoroughly. If you place an X in minimum requirements but because they do not meet them, also place a 0 under the specific requirements, and automatically वहाँ आगे application score में 0 आ ही जाएगा. Okay, yeah. So yeah, now at some point we must decide किसको हमें interview के लिए बुलाना है, who we should call for interview. Okay, and also many of the tools are automatically having application score. See the scores, application scores are arranged in descending order. So I might have 50 applicants. Okay, now I know who are the top scorers. I will call them only, right? And here I can compare, like Samantha is way below than Kelly and Janice, so I will prefer calling them, right? So this is how hiring matrix tool works. Now see the application score. They are saying, okay, top 2 applicants are more they will be preferred, just like what I said in the previous slide. Now see reference score and interview score. Interview score here, it is scored from 25. Like see, I have told you assigned and weight. Applicants के नीचे वहाँ लिखा है assigned or weight. So these scores vary from tool to tool, 1 to 5, 1 to 10, 1 to 25. So when I called top 3, Kelly, Janice and Samantha, I interviewed them and I gave them a score. Okay, and reference score, this is very important. Now see, the interview score and reference score for the interviewed candidates on a scale are from 1 to 5. Hiring matrix will automatically calculate the total score for you. So things have become so easy. That's why people prefer these tools. All the recruiters, hiring managers. Yeah, now see, Kelly, though scoring the highest, she negatively performed. Yeah, I got a negative reference score of her, straight away a 0. Do you get it? It's so important. If a reference check is so negative that it warrants not hiring an applicant, place an X in the score box below against the application name. This will change the total score to 0. Yeah. So this is what different tools look like: applicants' names, minimum requirement, interview score, reference score, background score, job title, or the scales they follow, 1 to 10, everything, total score. So by this we can learn how to apply for relevant jobs in future. Okay, what's the time? Yeah, just 2 minutes more. You can actually decide by checking, by going through the job description thoroughly, if I actually meet the minimum requirements. Okay, so yeah, this is how the hiring tools work, hiring matrix works, and this is the basic format that almost every hiring matrix tool follows. And this is the link where you can see this form, and you can go through many other links also. Many tools are available online. Okay, thank you. So yeah, I hope the session was good, and hope you got to learn. And I'll just share Eisenhower matrix and what was that? Smart goals technique and all the PPTs. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. We'll meet, I think, day after tomorrow. Yeah, we all will meet on 11th, and hope you all have a good day. Days not there. Good Monday, Tuesday. What's remaining? And yeah, I had fun. Thank you for being good, audience. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you,
Thank
Miss.
you, Miss.
Bye.
Bye.